All right, Daniil Medvedev has done it. Takes out Novak Djokovic in the semifinals of Dubai in pretty amazing fashion. That was a great match, really clean, honestly, from both guys. Djokovic maybe a little rusty after not having played since the Australian Open, but Medvedev overcame a lot, gets his fifth victory versus Djokovic. So we're going to break down this match. How did Medvedev get over the line? How did he not collapse at all when it was so tight? We'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at the the final matchup in Dubai and the semifinals coming up today in Acapulco. Lots of great tennis has been had. Lots more is coming. So let's get into it here on The Slice. All right. What a match. This man, Daniil Medvedev, comes through over Djokovic. And you know what this man would also do? He would tell you to honor the gentleman's agreement, which is the new agreement here on The Slice that if you're watching our shows and taking in this cutting edge entertainment content from in tennis, you got to be subscribed to the channel. Now, it's an agreement. It's a gentleman's agreement. We can't check that you've done this, but in order to keep watching, you have to subscribe. That's the deal. And we thank you guys for all abiding by the agreement and abiding by the respect that's shown between Djokovic and Medvedev after the match there. Djokovic always gracious in defeat, but he did get defeated. And this is his first loss of 2023, obviously, ending his 20-match win streak. Djokovic or Medvedev gets back in the win column in their head-to-head, which is now 9-5. And that's a big deal for Medvedev. I tweeted out before this match that I thought this match was bigger. It was a bigger deal for Medvedev and his 2023 season than it was for Djokovic. Because to be honest, I think Djokovic losing this match doesn't really matter for him. Not to shade the Dubai tournament at all, but really the next big important tournament for Djokovic is the French Open, where he's going to see if he can win a back-to-back or another major. But I felt like if Medvedev lost easily again, that would be, I think, his fourth loss in a row to Djokovic. And the doubt that we saw in 2022 for Medvedev might come back, where he's not sure if he can beat the best or be at the top again. But I think in this match, from this type of performance that he gave, I think he has proven to himself that he can be at the top. He can play with, and beat the best, because Djokovic is clearly the best player on tour right now, and Medvedev just straight up beat him today in 2 sets. So I think that's super impressive and good for Medvedev's confidence going forward. And now, I would be pretty confident that we'll see Medvedev get back to the top 5, maybe in the top 3 this year, maybe even challenge for number 1 spot again. If he's playing the way he has in the last 3 tournaments, which now he's going into the final, looking like the favorite, in my opinion, to beat Rublev, which we posted a hilarious picture of them two that they actually posted on Twitter, on our Instagram. So go check that out. They've been playing against each other since they were like little kids. But what happened in the Djokovic Medvedev match that allowed Medvedev, this guy, to win? Let's pull up the stats here. So this is the point stats in the match. Anyways, we got Medvedev on the right, Djokovic on the left. So the service stats, let's take a look at those. Aces, Medvedev had 8 aces. He was going for his first serve, I think. He only got 58% in, so he didn't get it in a ton, but he won 78% of his first serve points, which is pretty high against Djokovic, I would say. And then Djokovic, conversely, only won 60% of his first serve points, which is low for Djokovic. So Daniil, in my opinion, did a great job serving and a great job returning, especially on the first serve. Then Djokovic won the second serve point battle there. And then this one, break point saved. Medvedev only faced 1 break point the whole match, and he didn't save it. He got broken. Djokovic faced 4, but he got broken on 3. So each time when the guys got into the breaking situation, they were pretty much able to break, which is, that's how close this match was. It was just a couple of points that determined the set winners, and then that's how the match goes. Now take a look at this. When I said at the beginning this was a good match, some people might say, well, Djokovic was rusty. He was hitting more unforced errors than normal. This is off the ATP site, obviously, but Djokovic still had 30 winners and 14 unforced errors. That means that's a great ratio. And you would think that if he was able to play like that against almost anyone, he's winning that match. But Medvedev was even able to outdo him. 27 winners and only 7 unforced errors in the entire match. Yeah, you're probably thinking that's got to be a mistake, but I don't think it is, because Medvedev had very few unforced errors, and he played Djokovic the way that he needs to play him, and the way that I think when he, back in 2019 and 2022, or sorry, 2020, when Medvedev had 2 wins against him in 2019, and then he went 3 out of 4 in a stretch there from 2019 to 2020. Medvedev was the challenger, and he was the guy who wasn't expected to win. And it seems like for Medvedev, he's operated better in that role than he has as the champion. When he was number one, he didn't play as well as he did when he was getting towards number one. And back then, he made Djokovic. They played a similar style, right? Medvedev was like the lockdown king as well. He was seen as like a board on the baseline, just getting everything back. And in this match, it looked like he did that. It felt like he did that again. He stayed home. He made Djokovic take the first move. He made Djokovic make the first move, take the risk associated with that. And then Djokovic was going to start trying to open up angles, and then he was just missing a bit more. And Medvedev did really good to just stay in rallies. Even when Djokovic pulled him wide, Djokovic was using a little bit more variety. So he would hit a few good driving backhands, which would move Medvedev, but then he would go into a slice. And then Djokovic's slices weren't really doing that much to Medvedev, because it would kind of allow him to get back in the rally. And then Medvedev would just keep the ball flat, control the angles, to where he didn't give Djokovic that much to work with. Like I said, Djokovic had to create them. And yeah, then it was just a case of Medvedev being the more solid player today. And that's, we see players do that all the time against Djokovic for games or little stretches of the match. But the really impressive thing for Medvedev today is he was able to keep up the level throughout almost the entire match. I would say the one game where he got broken in the first set, where he was up two breaks and then he got down to 1 break up, Djokovic played a great return game then, and he kind of just got behind early and then just got broken. But other than that, every time that Djokovic pressed, Medvedev stayed strong, didn't fold like we see so many other young players do. So that was the most impressive thing to me today from Medvedev, was he played a great level, but he kept that level when the going got tough. Like when he had to serve out the match, I think it was 30-30. Like he said after the match, there were so many moments where he didn't face many break points, but he had a lot of 30-alls, deuces, and just times where he, had to come up with a big first serve or play a solid point. And he did that seemingly every time. Djokovic did let him off the hook a couple of times. There was one, I think, at 30-15, or sorry, Medvedev was serving. It was 15-30. And I was like, Djokovic is going to turn the screw here. And he had 2 second serve return forehand misses in a row. You don't often see that from Djokovic. And he didn't seem like he could really get that accuracy with his shots that he was looking for tonight. And I would call that just a little bit of rust from Djokovic. After not playing from the Australian Open, you gotta expect that. And I think it took him down tonight. Medvedev, though, let me say that's not an excuse for Djokovic losing at all. He played maybe 80% of his best level, and that's going to win a lot of the times versus a lot of players. And we've seen that so many times. It was still up to Medvedev, who had a better game today. It was still up to him to not get tight, not collapse at the end, which we see so many players do, and he didn't. So credit to Medvedev, where it's due. Huge win from him, huge fight. And like I said, I think it's really going to help him have a 2023 season that's going to get him back to the very tippy top, sharp edge of the game. Does that make sense? And so for everyone roasting me in the comment sections of the last video saying I forgot their match in Adelaide, I did. I was moving at the time. Things were stressful and didn't forget this match, though. This match did deliver. At the beginning of this week when we broke down the draws, I was looking forward to this match, and we all were, and it happened and it delivered. And Daniil Medvedev comes out the champion in Dubai. So he will play childhood frenemy, which I called it, Andrei Rublev in the final. If we'll just bring up the draw here. So we got Medvedev comes through 6-4, 6-4 in a tight match over Djokovic. Rublev beats Zverev 6-3, 7-6, which, good to see Zverev getting wins again. He beats Yuri Lehechka in the first round. That's a tough win. Lehechka playing great tennis. Then he beats Chris O'Connell. Then he beats Lorenzo Sonego with the same exact scoreline. And then he goes down in a very close match to Rublev. So seems like Zverev moving in the right direction. We got Medvedev versus Rublev in the final. So that's going to be a good final. Love to see that. Let's go to, not there. let's go to the tournament in Acapulco, ATP 500, where we had Alcaraz pull out in the first round. Like I said he would. Did I not say that in the last match? That's right, I did. And now Tommy Paul exploiting that quarter as I thought he would, coming through Emilio Gomez and then Michael Moe, who retired, and then Mackenzie McDonald kind of routining him 6-2, 6-2. So the semifinals are set. We got Tommy Paul, TP Swizzle versus Taylor Fritz, who's come through Isner, Shapovalov, and Francis Tiafoe. So tough route there for Fritz, who's come through. All-American clash, Tommy Paul versus Taylor Fritz. Friends again playing in the semifinals. Great matchup there. That's going to be a good one to watch. Tommy Paul's, I was watching earlier, his kick serve, I think, is one of the best on tour. He's super athletic, super springy, and he gets that new Yonex racket that he's using, which his coach Brad Stein told me that he switched to Yonex to get more pop in his game, and his serving has increased. He's gotten more aces, more dominance on his serve because of that switch, he thinks. So that's a good little added beefed up weapon to his game. Then on the bottom half, we got Holger Rune, friend of the show, taking out Berrettini, who had to retire, versus Alex de Minaur. Casper Ruud goes down in the second round. Casper Ruud got one win there, tough win against a qualifier, and then loses to Taro Daniil. So Casper Ruud's feeling the heat, friend of the show. He's feeling the heat right now, not playing his best tennis, maybe a little burnt out. But yeah, that is where we are at. Oh, I just wasn't showing that the entire time. Sorry, guys. I wasn't showing the draws here the entire time. I was just looking away from the camera. But here's the draws. Tommy Paul versus Taylor Fritz on the top. And then we got Holger Rune versus Alex de Minaur on the bottom. That's Acapulco. And then in Dubai, we got Medvedev versus Rublev. Like I said, Rublev took out Zverev, and look at that little run for Zverev there. So he's moving in the right direction, it seems. So anyways, there's the draws. We got Indian Wells coming around the corner. Those guys, those wankers down in India Wells did not give me a media credential for there, so I will not be going down. Would have loved to, but if they don't want the Slice's audience to be informed as well about their tournament, then we don't have to. Saves us money. But that just sucks because I want to bring you guys as close to the action as possible, and we're not being allowed to do that by the tournament, that tournament specifically. Even though in the past I have broke in there, snuck in there, and maybe that's why they don't give us the credential. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just search up I shook Roger Federer's hand from 2018. That was our first and only trip to Indian Wells, uncredentialed, got into the press room though, watched the Federer presser, and got the heck out of there. That was a very crazy experience and kind of laid the foundation for what the Slice's hard-hitting tennis journalism is really about. So go back and check that out. We got Indian Wells and then Miami. There's a chance I might be in Miami. But we got to wait to see if we have accreditation because we don't know yet. Anyways, that's the Slice on Medvedev taking out Djokovic and Acapulco and Dubai. Great tournaments, great action, great performance from Medvedev. Today, we'll see where Djokovic plays next. That's the big question. Is he going to play in the Sunshine Double? Still to be determined. If not, is he going to lose? Well, he didn't play last year, so he has no points to defend either. So he'll probably stay number one for a while. We'll see what the other guys can do, like Alcaraz, if he can get healthy for the Indian Wells. It's going to be pretty shallow depth of talent at Indian Wells, I think. So we'll see. Anyways, that's been the Slice. We'll send you out with the intro, and we'll see you next time here on the show.